Yeah, welcome back, guys. I'm sure that voice is perfectly fine now. Welcome back to the new session. And in today's video, we're going to learn switch statement and let's start it, right? So switch statement is a decisional statement, right? It's just like same of that if and else statement, the one that we have discussed in the previous lecture. So in switch statement, we have n numbers of cases and also an expression. Each case has to be checked with the given expression if it matches that. If that expression matches with that defined case, the block under that case will be executed. Use break statement at the end of each block. So we have to make use of break statement as well at the end of each block, right? So once we study the syntax of switch statement, then we'll be having no issues, right? We're going to work with it practically. So if you have any question, go to the chat option and ask your questions. Thank you. So how is the syntax of switch statement? First of all, you have to type switch, then in parentheses you have to set the expression, then you have to put the curly braces, right? This is the curly brace, the opening curly braces and the closing one. And then you can see that this is the expression and we're having cases here. The case one, then it ends with a colon, it's not semicolon, right? So you should remember the syntax for the switch statement. Then we define some statements that can be a single one or even more. But at the end of those statements, we have to use break statement. Just simply write break and then put a semicolon. Then we can define case 2, case 3. It depends on the given program. It depends on the requirement, right? On the program requirement. So n actually means any number here. So we can define um, as many as cases you want, right? And at the end of all these cases, we also have the option to define a default case. Default case means when nothing matches, when the expression matches with none of the cases, then in that case, default block will be executed. So I'm sure this is clear now. The syntax is clear. If anyone has question, go to the chat option and ask your questions. So we're just going to start with it. We're just going to work with it practically. So I'm going to open up my compiler, and this is switch statement. In the next session, we will work practically. We'll make several programs on all these decisional statements all together. So then your doubts will be clarified, and then we'll move to upcoming topics. But now this is also a decisional statement. Sir, can we write, there's a question from someone. Sir, can we write multiple cases in one break statement? Can we write multiple cases in one break statement? No, break statement has its own purpose. We have to use a single break statement. It actually breaks that program. It actually breaks the flow of that program. You can say it skips the program, right? It skips the further cases that you have just written, because if a case matches, right? I'm just going to clarify that point. So you guys should be attentive here, and yeah, I'm going to answer it practically here. So we're just going to start by writing switch statement. So this is a switch statement. I have to put an expression here. So x, for example. Now it seems to be a variable, but it's also an expression. All right, it's an expression. I'm going to now define it. So suppose I will first tell the user enter 1, right, 2 or 3. User will be prompted with these 3 numbers. Enter any number from these 3, and then through cout, I will store its value in variable x, and variable x is an integer, right? So this expression will be checked with all these cases that I'm going to define inside this switch statement. So case Now we have the first case. Case one doesn't mean that this is the first case. That was just a syntax. You can also put a character here. You can also put a character data type here, a string as well. So if I put one here, what does it mean? It means this expression, the x variable, has to be checked with the case one. In the case one, we have written one. So this one will be matched, one will be checked with this expression. One has to be checked. This one digit has to be checked with this expression, variable x. So if x equals to, right, if x equals to 1, tell the user you have entered 1. See, it is just like that if else body, right? It's just like the one that we have worked with in the previous lecture. Like we would define if statement in the beginning, then we would define else if, right? Else if, several else if statements, and at the end we would define else statement. So it is just like same, right? It is almost similar. So see out, you entered 1. This will be shown to the user. Now, what if a user enters 2? I told you this is a colon or a semicolon. I made a mistake up there. So if a user enters 2, so he will be prompted that you entered 2, case 3, case, this is now third case, and in the third case, I've given 3. Right, I have passed 3 here, so 3 has to be checked with the expression x. So if a user enters 3, he will be prompted that you have entered 3. Now let's define default variable. You see that default case here works just like that else statement, because when none of these defined cases matches with the given expression, then the default statement will be executed. So what we have to write here, you entered a number other than 1, 2, and 3, right? And this is the curly braces. This is the body for the switch statement, and you can also define more than one statement at the, in this block, the block under each case. You can define more variables inside this block, right? But I need one for now, so I will just yeah, thank you for the correction. And now I have made a mistake here. Can you guys spot the mistake here? What I have missed out? Go to the chat option and tell me what I've just missed out in this program and why it will be throwing an error if I compile this program. Why I will be getting an error? What is wrong with the switch statement? Go and try to read this program and see what I've missed out. Go to the chat option, guys, and please let me know what is the problem with this program. I know that I have missed out something, but you guys have to spot it. So I'm waiting for you guys. All right, I guess no, I finally corrected that mistake. Somebody also spotted that, but there's another mistake. I have just even talked about it in the syntax, but you guys are missing it, right? Let me show you the syntax. This is the syntax. What I've just left, what's not being present in the program, right? So just check this syntax in the program that I'm writing. What's missing in my program? Can't you guys see that I forgot break statements at the end of each case? So I forgot the break statement, right? So I'm going to put break statement. I'm going to give a break statement here, break. Also in the second case, in the third one, and we don't have to use break statement after the default one because it's going to end by its own, right? I will also tell you why do we have to use break statement, but now let me just run this program. Right, now let me compile this program by pressing F9. Now it's compiling. Now it's compiling. If you have any questions, go to the chat option and ask your question. So this is the program. I'm being prompted that you have to enter any number from those shown numbers. So I'm going to press 1 here. Let me give a space here. Oh yeah, simply backslash n. I want to break this line. I want to get this cn. I want to get my input in the next line. So I'll put backslash n here. So now you guys can see the result. Enter 1, 2, 3. If I put 1 here, I will get the result. The first case was being executed. You entered 1. Why? Because whatever I have defined, whatever I've given in the expression, right? I entered 1 in my expression, so that 1 was being matched with these cases. The program first went to the first case. This line was executed. So this matches, right? The expression matched with the first case. So I got this message on my screen. You entered 1, and the program and the other statements, case 2, case 3, and all the n number of cases were being skipped because we don't need them. If we have already got the one that we had, that we were supposed to get, so why should the program be checking the other cases? So that's why we use break statement. So let me run it again. Yes, all the lectures all are available on our YouTube channel. If you have missed any lectures, so that's why I always suggest you guys to watch the previous lectures so that you can understand the upcoming lectures and also this lecture, right? So let me compile it again. And what if I put 3 here? You know, I put 3 here. The third case was being executed. The third block was being executed. Now I'm going to enter something that's neither 1, 2, nor 3, right? So I'm just going to enter 10 here. So you see that default statement was being executed. So I got this message as my output. You entered a number other than 1, 2, and 3, right? So do you guys have any question? You see that it's almost same to that previous thing, if else structure. Difference between if else statement and switch case. Yes, there's a little bit difference in these. The only difference lies here in these cases. Like you cannot put and you cannot put here a condition. You cannot define conditions here. The condition has to be just 1 here, and the final value has to be checked, right? The final value of the expression has to be checked with all these cases. Like I cannot put any condition here if x is greater than that. So that's the only difference with this syntax here. But yeah, honestly, it's quite reliable to use. When we work with it practically, when we make some other programs in order to practice, then you guys would notice the difference, right? So I have one of a simple program in my mind. So let's work with that. If you have any question in this program, let me know in the chat option, and I'm waiting for your answers. Otherwise, we're going to make a simple program, then we'll just wind up this lecture because we have a short lecture today, right? So this is the switch statement. Now I'm going to make a program, a simple program through switch statement, right? Yeah, if you don't use a break statement, let me comment it out. What's going to happen? Let's see. You see that I'm getting errors here. Why? Because I have to use break statement. It is the syntax, right? I'm getting errors. It is the syntax of switch statement. What does really break statement do here? It's a question that I'm just going to answer. Well, imagine if the first case is being matched with the expression and this has been executed, right? I got my result. So why should I be checking all these cases if I have already got the result? If I've already got my output, desired output, so the program no needs to check the remaining cases. So just to make it faster, we put a break statement here. Break actually, when we put a break statement, what it really does, whatever you have written in between below the break statement, those all have to be skipped, and this break statement actually make this skip all these lines, and it makes the control flow out of these curly braces. When we use a break statement, it makes the control flow out of that block. This is the main block here. So if this break statement executes, the control flow will go outside of this block. So the control flow will come here. I mean, this line has to be executed, but we don't have any other lines here. We don't have any more chords of line here. So that's why the program ends. So this is the use of break statement. Imagine if this case matches with the given expression. So and this break statement executes, then this statement is being skipped, and the control, the flow of control goes outside these curly braces, and we have no other lines here. So that's why the program ends. So this is the use of break statement just to make this program work faster. That's why it's being considered a part of switch statement, a part of switch statements syntax, right? So that's why we have to use break statement. Otherwise, the program will throw an error. Now we're just going to make a simple program. So what is the program that I'm just going to create through switch statement? A simple calculator. Imagine a simple calculator. Uh, I haven't written any notes, but yeah, I can write notes for you guys. If you guys want to get notes for my course, my C++ course, let me know. And if I got many words, so I'm just going to write down for you amazing notes, right? So we're going to make a simple program in which a user will have to enter two numbers in the runtime, and then he will be prompted that enter any operator. He will be told that enter a plus operator, minus division, or uh, minus subtraction, division, or multiplication symbol. So when a user chooses any symbol, any operator from those four operators, the following, the according case operation will be done according to that given operator. So it's a simple program. So first of all, I have to get two numbers from the user. So suppose num1 and num2. So these are two numbers that I have to get from the user. So I will tell the user enter first number, enter first number, right? Enter first number, and I will save its value in num1 variable, and then I will tell the user to enter your second value. Enter second number. You will see, now you guys will see the use of a switch statement here. See in num2, right? Now I will have to declare one another variable of type character, and its name is suppose op, which means operator. And I have to set that operator here, that's just here. Now the first case is, if a user enters its operator as plus, the addition operation will be done on those two given numbers. So well, I have to tell the user also enter enter any arithmetic operator, right? And I will store its value in op variable. And let me break these lines here. You see that. And in the second one, I have to put minus symbol here. The third one, I told you guys, it's not necessary that you must put integers here. You can also go with the character data types here as I'm going. So the third one is suppose division, and the last one is multiplication. So I have to define another case for multiplication. And now let's do our math here, right? The two numbers will be multiplied. So the user will be told that the addition is right. The addition is num1 plus num2. So he will get its answer if the user chooses his operator as plus operator, you know, addition operator. So he will get this result. The addition is whatever comes here, right? Whatever comes here. So he will get the result as the addition here. He will get the sum of those two numbers that he have inputted at the start of the program. So, and the same goes for subtraction. If the user have chosen subtraction operator, then those two numbers will be subtracted from each other. So the difference, we name it as difference. The difference is num1 minus num2, and then break statement, and here is division. So the division is right, num1 divided by num2, right? And then the fourth one here, let me make its body here. So the multiplication, yeah, or the product is num1 multiplied by num2. And in the default statement, if the user enters anything apart from those four operators, he will get the message as you entered invalid operator, right? So now you guys can predict the result here. What's just going to happen? Can you guys tell me in the chat option? So let's compile this program. Well, I made a mistake. I forgot the break statement here. So we'll use break statement. And now it's compiling. I'll press F9 to compile the program. So it's finally done. Let me press F10. Now, as you guys can see the result, I'm being told that enter first number. Suppose I give 2 as my first input, and the second number, it's asking me for the second number. Suppose I go with the 4. Enter an arithmetic operator. So if I put, you know, addition symbol here, addition operator here, it will perform addition. It will perform addition on these two numbers. If I put subtraction operator here, it will subtract the second value from the first one. If I put divide symbol here, it will divide the first value by second value. And if I put multiplication symbol here, so it will definitely multiply the first value with the second value, and I will get my result. So I'm just going with the addition operator first. So you guys can see the result. The addition is 6. So now you guys can see this program, how it worked. Why did I get 6 as my answer? You see that, first of all, I got 2 values from the user, right? through cin and stored its value in num1 and num2. So I've already got the two values from the user. Now we have to also get the operator from the user, right? So I declared another variable having data type character, and I set that character as my expression in the switch statement, right? We applied the switch statement, and I have defined about four cases in my switch statement. As I told you earlier, guys, that these number of cases depends on your requirements. So in this case, I needed four operators. I needed four cases because I'm having four operators, four arithmetic operators. That's why I define four cases here. And the last case is default case. So in the first case, I put plus operator. I pass this here, which is addition symbol. And this the second one is subtraction, the division, and the fourth one is multiplication. So this symbol has to be matched with the expression operator, in which I would get the operator. I would get the operator as a character from the user, right? So this here, right up here, I'll be having any arithmetic operator that can be plus, subtraction operator, division operator, or the multiplication sign. So this symbol has to be checked with all these cases. When it matches with any of these cases, right, that block will be executed and the remaining ones will be skipped, right? So in this case, I've put plus as my arithmetic operator. So it's just going to go check one by one case from the start to the end. But whenever it gets the right case, right, whenever the expression matches with the case, so that case will be executed and the remaining ones will be skipped. So in this case, the plus operator, the expression matches with the first case here. That's why I got my result. The addition is, and then num1, in which I've got the first value from the user, plus num2, in which I've got the second value, and then I would use break statement. So it just breaks here, and the remaining statements are being skipped in this case, right, along with the default statement, right? And then the control flow goes out of this block. So that's why I got my result. The addition is num1 plus num2, which is equal to 6. So now let me run it again. And now I'm going to put, I just want the default statement to be executed. So suppose I give 5, the second number is 8, and I enter any other character apart from the arithmetic operator. Suppose I enter A here. So default statement is being executed because none of the case matches with the given expression. So this statement has been executed here. You entered invalid operator because A is not an arithmetic operator. So now let me, I want to perform multiplication here. So 2, and I want to multiply it by 5. And let me give my arithmetic operator, which is multiplication symbol. So you guys can see I've got my product. The product is 10, 5 multiplied by 2. So that's how switch statement works. Do you guys have any question till now? Go to the chat option and kindly ask your questions. If you guys have no questions, then I will just wind up this lecture and I will see you guys next time. And this lecture is going to be uploaded as usual on our YouTube channel. So if anyone has missed this lecture, they can watch it on our YouTube channel, right? I guess nobody have any questions. So thank you for taking your time to watching this lecture, and I will see you guys next time.